how exciting is it to have the whole team back on campus?
I can't tell you, Jack, how exciting it is to have everybody back, coaches, players, support staff. It's been such a unique time the last 6 months, abruptly ending your season and being away from each other and kind of starting and stopping. But to have our school year up and running the last couple weeks and seeing people on campus, all masked up, of course, right? And following all the protocols. But it's just something special to have our young women back. And I know it gives me just a different level of just, excitement and happiness for them and what's going to be ahead moving forward too.
The last few months, there's been an outroar and a cry out for social change and social reform. And one thing the Big East is doing to kind of help promote this kind of change is by announcing that every team is going to be wearing a Black Lives Matter patch on their jerseys this season. How exciting of an announcement was that for you and your team?
Yeah, I know everybody probably saw the press release of us finally coming up with, the idea that we were going to do the patch. And, you're watching the NBA and WNBA here right now, and they have an incredible platform to bring awareness. And there's a lot going on with our country and a lot of negative things. And I was just really excited after all the conversations and putting heads together that, within our league on the men's and women's side to be at the forefront of that decision. And really it's a momentous time for that release, but we've been doing a lot of things in the last 5 or 6 months, whether that's our players or our coaching staff to help bring about change. And, everybody's got an opinion about it, but what we do know is we want to be on the platform as student athletes and coaches to speak our voices and, spread more love than anything else. And I know we're learning about just, our system a little bit better. And we do need to bring just more support for our Black communities, for our student athletes all across the country. And we're excited through the Big East to do that and continue to do that. I think that's the biggest thing of not having it be a couple weeks or a couple months, but to keep the momentum going for equality and for having a voice in our country.
With uncertain start dates for the basketball season, and it seems like information is changing almost every single day, how do you keep your team focused on what they can control and not worry about everything else?
I think that's one of the biggest challenges from a basketball side, to just keep everybody focused and motivated and training hard. And, we used to be, I think, trying to predict the future. And I think we've kind of changed our tune the last few months of let's go day to day. Let's focus on our core value of relentless growth, of just pushing every day to get a little bit better, both on and off the court. And it is going to be a challenge of what the season will look like. Will it happen? And that can bring some anxiety for everyone. But I think we're getting closer to having a few more decisions on what the season looks like. I think we've all agreed it's going to probably be a little bit different. But what I've tried to preach to our team is that our standards are going to be set pretty high no matter what's in front of us. And, all these things we're faced with are extremely important life lessons about having resiliency and grit and sticking together. And, no better time than now to just, try and find that positive attitude and stay committed to getting better on the basketball court and enhancing our skill. And then when they allow us to get going with a real season and playing in games, I look forward to seeing our group ready to go.
When you look ahead to this coming season, what are your overall goals for the new season and now your second year as the head coach?
I've always been a big believer that every year is so different. And, we accomplished a lot in our first year and kind of had that underdog mentality. But I think what I was most proud about with our team is just how much better we got day to day, week to week, and month to month. And we didn't so much focus on standings or, who our opponent was in front of us. We just kind of stayed within ourselves a little bit. And, I'm going to take that same philosophy going into this new year because of kind of how the last 5 or 6 months have looked like. And yeah, we thought we'd have a little bit more momentum after the NCAA tournament and going into, the off season. And obviously we were hit with what happened, whether that's our social injustices, that's now a big cause for us, or, the pandemic. And it's just kind of resetting yourselves and almost in some ways starting from scratch, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We're shaping the next great Marquette team and we're going to put the pieces to the puzzle together and work every day to improve and then let the chips fall where they may, as they say.